Good morning. My name is Miguel Gonzalez, and I'm a certified retirement counselor with over 20 years of experience helping clients in retirement income planning, overseeing investment of funds, and designing retirement plans. This week, let's dispel some myths about trusts and help you decide if setting one up would work for you. For the average investor, setting up a trust with your estate attorney as part of your estate planning can make a lot of sense. For wealthy investors, it can be nearly essential. So why then do only 33% of Americans have a will or living trust? The truth is, as helpful as trust can be, there are a fair number of misconceptions about them, and those misconceptions can get in the way of taking action. The beauty lies in the benefits. Trusts come with benefits for both the trustor as well as their heirs. Trusts do not simply ensure your assets are distributed according to your wishes, they also ensure how the assets are distributed. And unlike a will, the provisions of a trust are private and not subject to probate. This means that private for you and your beneficiaries. Your information and legacy remain confidential out of the public eyes of a court. Potentially can also improve the distribution of assets. Going through the court process can take a fair amount of time. In addition to that, it comes with its own share of fees, and setting up a trust may be less expensive than the cost your loved ones may incur with the probate process. That's because probate-related fees to the attorney and to the court can add up quickly. Beyond avoiding probate court, protection is another benefit of setting up a trust. This protection can play out in two ways with a revocable trust. First, when you pass away, the assets can continue to be held for the benefit of your beneficiaries, protected from creditors and divorcing spouses. A trust is controlled by you while you're living. Should you become incapacitated, the successor trustee should ensure you have the care you need. The responsibility of the successor trustee is to manage the assets and make payments on your behalf. But the common misconceptions about trusts, because of the complexities that go with trusts, from the different kinds to the highly detailed laws that govern them, these are a number of myths that are associated with trusts. Myth number one, trusts are expensive. Truth is, when you compare the cost of creating a trust to the cost associated with probate, for example, probate court and lawyer fees, probate may be more expensive of the two. Myth number two, all assets should be put in a trust. Well, not necessarily. There's a process for distributing the assets in a trust, so it will take time. If there are loved ones that will need the money immediately, those funds may be something to leave out of the trust. The most common designations are to individuals, for example, all to the spouse or in equal shares to the children. However, a trust can also be named as an IRA beneficiary, and in many instances, a trust is a better option than naming an individual. Myth number three, if you have a trust, you do not need a will. Continue with the idea from the myth number two. A will is needed to deal with any assets left out of the trust that do not convey via beneficiary transfer of death designation. So to be sure all your assets are distributed as intended, even those left out of the trust, a will should always be in place. Myth number four, trusts ensure that my heirs will avoid probate court. Well, trust can enable your estate to avoid probate, but a poorly drafted trust can result in probate court. Similarly, assets owned outside of the trust may still be subject to probate. As mentioned earlier, working with an experienced estate attorney is key. And myth number five, all trusts offer tax advantages. Remember, there are different kinds of trusts. So while some do offer tax advantages, not all do. Revocable trusts in particular offer no tax advantages and do not require separate income tax return during the trustee's life. These are just a handful of just some of the myths that can create an air of confusion. And given the technical complexities of trust, it is easy to see how myths lead to misconceptions. If anything, that's all the more reason to talk with your financial professional who can partner with you and your trust attorney in this area. Reach out to them and learn more. Once again, this is Miguel Gonzalez with Cortburg Retirement Advisors. Please take a moment to click the like icon, and don't forget to also subscribe to my YouTube channel to receive a weekly video podcast every Monday morning. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all next week.